So, at any rate, so ayun, nung dumating ako sa Ateneo, iniligay ako dun sa boneyard section. Kasi dun lamang may bakante, no ha? O, boneyard section is the opposite of the honors class. That's a bad system. Nilalagay doon lahat ng mga bugok, lahat ng mga troublemakers. Doon ako inilagay, no? All right. O, pagdating ko, nagre-retreat yung klase ko. I have had very good teachers. That's why I'm a teacher. Because the most inspiring people I have met in my life were teachers. I will tell you more about them later on. Okay, ang teacher ko nung first year si Mr. Felipe, who later on became a justice of the Supreme Court. When I entered my class, they were having the retreat. Nag-rosaryo sila. So Mr. Felipe, wanting to make me integrate with the class right away, said, all right, Onofre, says, you lead the next mystery. Ayan, humada na ako ng English kong Cecilio Apostol, no? Ayan, hindi pa ako nakakalimang Hail Mary, pugik-di ka na yung mga classmates ko, no? There was going to be trouble already in class. And so finally, Mr. Felipe said, all right, Onofre, said, thank you very much. Somebody else will continue because, boy, a riot was beginning to take place in my class. They were laughing at my English when I was in first year high school. By the time I was in first year college, I was representing the Ateneo in English oratorical contest and bringing in the gold medal. A month ago, I was in the house of Cory, no? No, nung death anniversary ni Ninoy. Kasi kaming kumakanta, no? Pagdating ng lunchtime, tumabi sa akin yung anak ni Ninoy, no? All right? Sabi sa akin, sabi nga ni Noy, sabi ni Noy, Mr. Pagsi, I know a lot about you already. Why? Because my father, si Ninoy daw, used to tell me many things about you. He said that once you were in an elocution contest together and he got only the silver medal because he said a boy from the public school got the gold medal. I was that one. No? And therefore, kaya po mabenta ako talking to students and talking to teachers. We say, dare dream. And fuel your dream with passion. Give it everything you've got. Give it everything you've got. Because, believe me, all right, if you are from the University of the Empire of Makati, all right, you can do better than Ateneans and Assumptionistas. Believe me, you can. Nasa paghawak ng mga estudyante, no? All right. What really, outside of my mom, all right, the next biggest influence in my life was Father John P. Delaney. I have listened to the best speakers that the Ateneo can produce, no? Horacio de la Cosa, I don't know how many times I've listened to Father Miguel Bernad, all of the great speakers, but nobody does it like Delaney. Hanggang ngayon, si Father Delaney, merong estatwa sa quadrangle, sa third year quadrangle namin. Pero yung estatwa lang wala nang kabig, no? Okay, dinalaglagan ng dahon, iniiputan ng mga maya, no? Sa ulo. Alright, estatwa na lang I tell my boys, but you know guys, I said, because I love you. Ako po hindi ako nangingiming sabihin, no? Mr. President, I'm not embarrassed at all to tell my boys, no? And they're all boys. I'm not embarrassed to say, look guys, I love you. I'm giving you 1 year of my life. And that is true, no? Because all of my 3 children have their own families and they're independent from me. There's still enough fatherhood in me to spare. And I say, you're like my children. Alright? I say, at night, when I go home, when I eat, while I'm eating, I'm thinking of you. At night, I have dreams about you. Sometimes they're technicolor dreams. Sometimes they're nightmares, no? All right? But I dream about you. You are part of my life. Outside of my wife, my 3 children, my 3 in-laws, and my 2 grandchildren, you are the most important people in my life. I am not embarrassed to say, I love you. I'm giving you my life. All right? And my boys respond, you know. If you were to ask me, Mr. Pagsi, you say you've been teaching for 56 years. If we were to ask you, what is the single most effective teaching strategy that you use? I will not think twice. I will say, daily quiz. What? Daily quiz. All right? Every day in my class, those who have been in my class, the moment you go in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, Amen. Number 1! Always it's a 5-point quiz, no? It works with me and my boys don't complain. I'm a hard driver. I'm not an easy teacher, no? All right? Because I have been trained by my mother, all right, to expect the best from me, and that's the way I've been formed, that's the way I teach, no? And if you were to none of my boys complain because I have a deal with my boys. The deal with my boys is this. The quiz I gave yesterday, I will return the following day, corrected, checked, and recorded. If the following day I do not give yesterday's quiz, checked, recorded, okay, then today no quiz because it means your teacher did not do his homework. If I did not do my homework, how dare I expect my students to do theirs? There is only one kind of leadership, and it's leadership by experience. It is leadership by example. And so there was my mom. It's leadership by example. And then there was Father Delaney. Father Delaney would ask me when I was in third year, fourth year high school, what do you put in the center of your life? And if I may pause and ask you, what do you put in the center of your life? When I teach values education teachers, and I've taught quite a number of them, I tell my values education teacher, all right, I say, you're teaching values education. But my dear teachers, I said, have you ever stopped to consider what your value system is? Take a size 1 paper. Number your paper, all right, 1 to 10. If there are 10 things that you want to do with your life, what would those 10 things be? Write them down. No copying, please. For your eyes only. For your eyes and God's eyes only. It is not to show up to your principal, to impress your principal. No, for your eyes and God's eyes only. After 10 minutes, I say, all right, time's up. I say, all right, look at the 10 things you want to do with your life. How many think they can do all of those 10 things? Nobody raised their hand. Perhaps I say, you're right, no? All right, so let's make it easier. Okay, cross out 5 and let 5 remain. What 5 will you cross out and what 5 will remain? And I say, can you do all of that? Only if you say, all right, fine. I say, let's make it even more difficult. All right, take 3 out and retain only 2. What 3 will you cross out and what 2 will remain? And finally, I tell the teacher, if you want to find out what your core value is, core comes from core cordis, which means heart. I can live without a finger, I can live without a foot, I cannot live without my heart. What is your core value? Go to the very painful experience of crossing out 1 more until there are only 2, plus 1 more until finally you come to the core value, the number 1 value in your life. What is your core value? And Father Delaney would say, all right, there is only one value worth giving your life for. How do you decide what is valuable and what is not? And Father Delaney would say, what is valuable is what lasts. What lasts? You say goodbye to everything. You say goodbye to everything. I've said goodbye to my hair. I've said goodbye to my teeth. And I don't know what. What is my core value? And I say, be honest. And I say, it's kind of difficult to be honest, no? Sometimes the easiest person to fool is ourselves. I say, even my first-year boys know that. Because my first-year boys are very good writers. I teach the brightest, no? Ang sagot ng Pilipino sa haiku, which is 17 syllables, is the Tanaga. What's Tanaga? 7 syllables, 7 syllables, 7, 7, 28 syllables. How? In 28 syllables to be able to express a memorable thought in memorable language. Can it be done? Yes. One of my boys wrote this way. Sabi niya, masdan mo ang kalaban. Masdan mo ang kalaban. Nariya't titingin-tingin. Masdan mo ang kalaban. Nariyan sa salamin. Astig, no? First year po yan. Oh. Masdan mo ang kalaban. Nariya't titingin-tingin. Masdan mo ang kalaban. Nariyan sa salamin. Alright? Oh, and another boy wrote, okay, sa laking kaguluhan sa paghahanap buhay, nawala ang dahilan kung bakit nabubuhay. First year kids, what do you value most? One of my former students, Father Jojo Magadia, who is now a Jesuit, who in fact has been sent to Rome to be one of the 3 people to choose the new Jesuit general, he came once to the Ateneo as a Jesuit, and he preached one of the homilies that I will never forget. Sabi niya, mamamatay-matay lamang ng lola ko. Nung namatay ang lola ko, iniwan sa amin yung susi ng kanyang aparador. Binuksan namin yung kanyang susi. Binuksan namin yung kanyang aparador. Anong nakita namin sa kanyang aparador? Patong-patong, tambak-tambak ng mga dress material na hindi na ipagawa, na hindi na gamit, na hindi na ipamigay. It must be terrible to die with so much that you could have done na hindi mo ginawa. Perhaps the saddest farewell song really is the song of Diana Ross, no? Touch me in the morning, then just close the door. Leave me as you found me, empty as before. Siguro kaya may mga taong ang hirap mamatay, no? kung paano habot-habot. Because siguro kahit kapag ang buhay mo, puro sana ganito, sana ganon, sana ganito, wala kang hosana, puro sana. The things that you could have been, the things that you might have been, but you never were. What makes any university great, no? I will not say Ateneo is great, but actually it is tradition, no? Okay? Meron akong isang bata, okay, before hindi ko maintindihan kung bakit yung pangalan yung pangalan ng musical is Fiddler on the Roof, no? And I say, grabe, why play the fiddle on the roof? And finally, one of my boys, I learned from my boys, one of my boys who came out in this play, he said, "Sir, kasi gano yun. Kasi sir, yung roof, hindi pa papaganyan. Both sides are sliding." He says, to play the fiddle, to play the violin, all right, on the two panels of a sliding roof is very difficult. And he says, it is to be able to bring the past into the present and to make sure that you bring from the past what the present can learn. Tradition. Christ passes it to Ignatius passes it to Delaney passes it on to me. And that is what I teach. I find when I entered the Ateneo that dreaming is not enough. There are all kinds of dreams. There are dreams that are nightmares. There are dreams that kill. There are dreams that damn. Passion is not enough. Passion can be terribly misdirected. Under Father Delaney, I learned that I need direction in my life. What do I put in the center of my life? Bakit nagkakalintik-lintik ang Pilipinas? Because many of our leaders put power as number one passion in life. They don't care what happens to education. They don't care what happens to the country. As long as I remain in power, I will lie, I will cheat, I will kill, but I will remain in power. My number one value, my core value is power. Kanina tawanan sa kotse. Sabi ko, may mga kabataan, ang number one, ang core value nila is libog, no? Anything for a good lay. Oh, what is your passion? What is your number one passion? Because that will decide everything. Father Arupa had a very beautiful treatise on that. He says, what you love is terribly important. It will decide what will wake you up in the morning. It will decide how you will spend your weekends. It will decide what will make you cry. It will decide what will touch your heart. Fall in love, stay in love, and it will decide everything. What do you love? All right? Pamantasan ng Makati can do without Romeo, can do without Juliet. I don't know that it can do without God. I don't do that it can do without God. Nagkakaligaw-ligaw tayo, no? Okay? Because God is that northern star that never changes position. And I chartered my life according to what is unchangeable. I don't have that unchanging point, and my life will go left, right. It will end in tragedy. It will end well. I do not want it to go. So that's what, first lesson from Father Delaney. What do I put in the center of your life? You know, Father Delaney is very concrete when he speaks. He says, all right, there is only one worthwhile ambition in life, and that is to want to become a saint with a small s. And his definition of a saint is very interesting. He says, a saint is somebody who wants the hardest and the best. And think about it, it's true. The best is the hardest, and the hardest is the best. And that's why if teachers or university presidents never teach the students the value of sacrifice and hard work, where will you end? In call centers, that's about as far as you'll get. But if any further dreams, I tell you, you need persistence, you need hard work, and you need God. Perhaps that is what the Ateneo has taught us most of all. You're a university president. I'm sure much of what you learned in the Ateneo, you carry in your life. And I'm sure your students at the University of Makati respect you because you lead a respectable life. You can kill the dreamer, you cannot kill the dream. So, all right. So I say, all right, that's fine. I say, so that's first lesson. Lesson number 1, the altar right in the middle of the altar right in the middle of the circle. What else did you discover? And one boy looks at me and said, sir, this is a very strange church. Why? Sir, because there are doorways, but there are no doors. Have you noticed that about the chapel of the Holy Sacrifice? There are doorways, but there are no doors. You can never close the chapel because it was not meant to be closed by the priest who wanted this house of God to mirror the heart of God and to mirror the heart that he hopes and prays we will all be. Bukas palad, bukas puso, bukas buhay. This country is dying because so many of us have closed ourselves to the rest of this country. This country is not dying of corruption. It is dying for a lack of love for this country that God has chosen to be your country and my country. We don't love it enough. Why do I believe Father Delaney? Because grabe si Father Delaney, no? Okay, when I was in college and I have a big decision to make, I would never be at ease unless I saw Father Delaney. Because it's like one doctor says, you've got a tumor in the brain, we've got to open your skull. I'm not going to allow people to open my skull, no, just one. He could be making a mistake. I'd go to a specialist, no? When I have a big decision in my life, when I was in high school and in college, I'd always go to Father Delaney. And I remember one time, I said, I'll go to UP at 8 o'clock. Siguro ka ako libre rin si Father Delaney. I come to the office of Father Delaney, to the anteroom at 8 o'clock, and I find, boy, it's still teeming with people, no? Parang percultural center. Kulang na lang nabigyan kami ng numero to find out who was going to see Father Delaney next. So I said, okay, I'll just take a walk first. I'll come back at 10 o'clock. Well, I finally got to see him at about 11:30. He spoke to me for 30 minutes. By the time I left, there were still 3 people waiting for Father Delaney. In his anteroom, there was a poster, a handcrafted poster. Not beautiful at all. Mas magandang nabibiling chipipay sa National Bookstore, no? What did the poster said? The poster says, nobody ever says no. And I have not forgotten that poster. Nobody ever says no, because the man inside never says no. If I left at 11:30 and there are still 3 people waiting to see him, what time will that priest go to bed? And like Father Reuter, who's a very good priest, he writes an article for the Star every Saturday. That's why I buy the Star every Saturday. The title of the column is At 3 a.m. He wakes up at 3 a.m. That's why his homilies are good, because he wakes up at 3 a.m. You pay for everything. Hindi ba? If you want a real diamond with the 4 C's, no? Ano ba yan? Cut, karat, color, clarity. Or you be prepared to prepare thousands of pesos. No, I wouldn't be surprised if a 1 carat diamond, would cost at least 500,000 pesos. No, but it's the real thing. Pero kung gusto mong pit lamang ng baso, you can get to Green Hills, no? Ang lalaking mga brilyante, mga rubing ganyan kalalaki, no? You can get one for 200 pesos, no? Pero hindi brilyante, no? Fake lamang yan. Oh, somebody said time. You should invite me again because I have very wonderful things to share with you. But I will end. I'm a very obedient servant. So, thank you very, very much for listening.